Just like a lot of effort and editing and rewriting and moving things, and I don't know, man. It's just that stuff takes so long to write. Like, I honestly, it's ridiculous. Like that 24 bar scheme or however long it was, like on that rhyme scheme, it literally took me, I can't remember exactly, it was either 2 or 3 weeks, like an hour a night, just writing that. Like it takes like so long, man. Like, and that's why when people are like, "Oh, you're really talented," like, how do you think of that? Like, well, I'm not fucking talented, man. I just like it takes me fucking
really
forever.
Fucking hard at it, yeah.
Yeah, and I do think that like more people could write like that if they actually like put the time in. It's maybe a bit sad actually that I put that much time on reflection. I've maybe take it a bit too seriously, but I do really care about it, man.
Do you?
I do,
know,
yeah.
Is it just consistency? Like, your consistency is its own thing. Like, it's all well and good saying I could do it if I put in the time. Yeah, but you don't. Like, you could. You're right, but you're missing that causal link between actually putting in the effort and then reaping the rewards. You're not prepared to go through that process of I might not hit a vein of inspiration for a little while. I might just have to write, and it's going to be dog shit before I actually go, hang on, wait, what was that? That might be something. And then you build, you know what I mean? So I guess what I'm asking is, how do you mentally get through that? Because again, 3 weeks, 1 hour a night. How do you get yourself through that mentally? Do you enjoy it? Or is it just you have a standard and you refuse to relent on that standard?
Just get through it an hour at a time, I guess. Guess that's it. You just do it. Like, there's not any like shortcut, really. And yeah, it's like saying, how do you run a marathon? I guess just keep putting just one foot in front of the other until you get to the end, and then you've run a marathon at the end. But yeah, it's just effort, man. Like, it's effort and work. And there is like a lot. Like, I don't think someone completely fresh or someone that's only been battle rapping a year, like, I don't think they could write that, like, regardless of how much time they put in. But anyone that's been battling for like a good amount of time, like, does have the resources and skill set to write at that level, like, if they're willing to, do you know what I mean, put the time and effort in to do it. I don't think I'm like alien talented or whatever. I just think I've worked pretty hard.
But that is a distinguishing factor. So, I mean, okay, let me recontextualize the question to allow you to approach it a different way. How do you know when you're done? How do you know when you go, right, and before you say anything, well, when I'm done writing, like, how, right, that's polished enough. I could polish it more, I could touch it up more, I could change this word, or I could put this here, but how do you know you're done?
Okay, when I don't think that. I don't think that. I don't think like, okay, I could polish that more, I could tweak that a little bit, but it's good enough. I don't think that. So I write until I don't think that, and then it's done.
Okay. Does that come?
And that doesn't mean I'm right. That doesn't mean I'm correct, and that like I couldn't. If I look at something and think that could be better, I will rewrite and edit it until I think that I couldn't make that idea any better. And then that doesn't mean it couldn't get any better. It very well could. But just when I look at it, I don't think it could be, because you don't know what you don't know, right? There's people out there that are like Bender is a far better writer than me. Kruger, Elmac's far better writer than me. They might look at something that I look at and I think I can't make that any better, so that I'm done with that now. They might look at it and think, actually, no, I could make that better, because their ability level, their ceiling, I guess, is like higher than mine. In the same way that like someone who's been battling for 2 years or whatever might write something and think that's as good as it can possibly, that idea is as good as it possibly can be, and I would look at it and think, no, it's not. But I won't unless I'm on like a time crunch and I've got like short prep. It's like a short prep battle that I've agreed to for like 2 or 3 weeks. Yes, and that in those instances you do just have to be like, I could probably do better, but fuck it. Like I need to get something done so that I have enough time to like memorize it. But like if I have enough time to like prep in advance and there's no like time crunch or whatever, I'll never be like, oh, that could be better, but fuck it. I don't know if that answers your question, but
sort of. I guess let me ask you another question to maybe hem in on some of the detail. Is there anything you do to make writing easier to do? A lot of writers, I'm told, have certain mimetic tricks, or they have they have sensory stimulation, they have a thinking space or a working space, or they do something to get firing. Is there anything you do to make that process easier for you to do that?
I mean, if I have a battle coming up, I'll watch more battles, and that'll tend to like inspire me a lot of the time. I don't mean like get inspiration of their ideas, but I mean like just like, wow, that was amazing, and then it kind of like fires you up to write. But like in terms of like making stuff easier, like we spoke about last time, I'm big like on structure. So I guess in terms of like the structure of what my round is going to be like, that is already determined before I even start writing words. So I guess like having those confines, like I think like having confines, like it's kind of counterintuitive, but I feel like having confines and restrictions actually makes it easier to write, because you have like rules that you need to adhere to. Like I don't know, I think there's some quote that's like, there's nothing worse than like the tyranny of a blank page or something like that, where you just like when you have like endless possibilities, it's like very difficult to write anything.
Yeah, how do you start?
Like, yeah. Exactly, where do you start? So like because I guess like my structure is kind of like already determined. When I say structure, I mean like okay, how many lines is this rhyme scheme going to be? How many multis are going to be in it? What are the syllables? Not necessarily what are the syllables of the multis going to be, but like how do those syllables contrast with the syllables coming after it? How long is the scheme going to? When I say how is the scheme going to be, I don't mean like length of bars. I mean like the multisyllabic. Like, so it is a syllable. Is it going to be like a 2-syllable one? Is it going to be like a 7-syllable one? Like, what are we going to do? So that all that structure is already determined before I even like start writing. And it doesn't mean like I can't make tweaks to it. Like if I have a plan for like an 8-bar scheme with like 16 rhymes in it, that are like 7 syllables long, and then I come up with a really good one that's like 5 syllables. I mean, I was like, fuck, well, I can't do it then. You know what I mean? Like you can make tweaks, but because you have like those kind of, you've got a structure in place, it's just about like filling it in. I guess that makes it like a bit easier for me because I have a starting point. And in terms of like inspiration, yeah, it's just like watching battles, really. And sometimes I'll watch like my own battles if I have battles coming up, which sounds like super narcissistic or whatever, but like it's just like to, I guess, like remind yourself of like what it is that you do. Do you know what I mean?